everyone, welcome. Today I am very excited to be collaborating with one of my very dear YouTube friends, Paige, aka ThriftyBeauty. I'm very excited she asked me to be part of her second collab week. It's really cool that she's been doing this series on her channel where she collabs with so many different YouTubers and they've been discussing so many interesting topics. So I will of course have Paige's channel linked down below. Please go and check her out if you haven't already. She is wonderful, and we are going to be talking about a pretty interesting topic ourselves. So a little backstory. A couple of weeks ago now, it might have even been closer to a month, Paige and I were tagged in a post on Instagram, and it was this meme that a big cosmetics company had reposted, and the person who tagged us was like, hey, maybe you guys can talk about this. So the meme was, and I'll show it here, it was one of those supposed to be funny memes, and it was the if you don't love me at my, with something that's supposed to be not so good, and the you don't deserve me at my, the flip side being the hashtag goals version. So I've seen many different variations of this meme. In this case, you had the young makeup artist posting one side that was when she was starting out with makeup, and then a couple of years later with her improvements. So when you look at it from just that user's perspective, I thought it was really interesting. It's just a glow up kind of thing. I myself have posted something similar to that before with a this was me a couple years ago, this is, you know, how much I've progressed, just looking at what time and practice and tools have done, which is how I viewed the meme from the artist's perspective. Now, when you have a brand reposting something like that, it does come off a little bit weird, but just in general, brands posting stuff like that, it's all very salesy. They're just trying to sell their products. So for when a brand is posting that, it's like, hey, you want to get that look on the side, the hashtag goals version, buy our products, not really thinking about the other factors that go into it. So not to mention, there is definitely other factors in play as well, besides just the improved skill. There's lighting differences, probably camera differences, editing differences. I was lurking the comments of the original poster of that meme, and she was saying how she didn't use all these things and she only altered slightly, but she adjusted things like brightness and contrast, which does affect the way that something looks because you can really make it pop more. And there's just practicing, knowing the right lighting and getting camera angles. It's just all stuff that people don't really think about when they're trying to get that grainy iPhone selfie of their eye makeup, and it's like, why does this look as good as someone else does? It's because of all of those other things. It's not something you can really just pick up a camera and decide to do. And you do need to practice. You do need to have the right tools and everything else in order to improve your game, so to speak. So I don't really see a problem with the meme in general. I've actually posted something similar myself, as long as it's not coming from a negative or a hurtful place. So there's a difference between you talking about yourself and being like, hey, this is how I improve, this is my before and after, as opposed to somebody else picking on somebody and being like, oh, this person's ugly, this person's makeup is terrible in comparison to somebody else, because there are so many other factors that go into it, and sometimes it's personal preference, sometimes it's time, sometimes people just don't have the time to do that kind of an eye look, but really it's more about art than it is about makeup, because that same makeup artist I was referring to with the earlier meme also posted something that went viral, which was the what it looks like on Instagram versus what it looks like in real life, which was showing that she only had like this portion of her face done. So you could spend hours, and I guarantee you some of those looks are very intricate. She spent well over an hour, if not over 2 hours, doing that one portion of your face. How many people are really going to do that? You don't think about that. You don't see that. You just see the eye look and it's like, oh my God, I wish I could do that. I know there's moments I have where I look at those photos and I'm like, man, I could never do that. And then I think, wait a second, if I actually dedicated, 2 to 3 hours of my life just working on one eye, I could come up with something phenomenal, but I'm not going to spend like 7 hours trying to do my full face. And then there are other factors when it comes to comparing makeup looks, like just the person's facial structure, the way that they look. Sometimes people have a lot of lid space, and I will look at that and I'll be like, man, there's no way I could ever do that. And you know what? I couldn't, because I just don't have the real estate to work with. I would love to have it. I would love to do it on someone else's eye, but I know for myself, it's just not practical. When you see those people who have, like, you know, loads and loads of lid space, I'm like, well, this is what I got to work with. So this is realistically what I can do. I can't do all those crazy little detailed things because I just don't have the structure for it. And that's okay. I really hate that it has to be said, but you don't have to be conventionally beautiful in order to enjoy makeup and in order to be good at it, however you determine good. For some people, it's really different because of the style of makeup that they like to do. Some people just view skills differently. Some people are all around just gifted when it comes to makeup, and some people are really gifted at natural makeup, so it doesn't even look like they're wearing makeup at all. And some people are gifted at more editorial, abstract things. They can be very graphic with their liner, and some people are really great with color and figuring out color combinations, and those are all different skills. And it doesn't mean that you're less than someone else because you don't do your makeup like somebody else does. I'm sorry for the noise if you can hear this. My kitten is playing with a marble upstairs and she will not stop. So anyway, I just feel like it has to be said over and over again that you don't have to be classically beautiful to like makeup, and liking makeup doesn't mean you're vain, and it doesn't mean that you think you are the greatest thing to walk the earth, but there's nothing wrong with thinking that you are beautiful. I'm gonna channel the divine Miss M for a second here and just say I'm beautiful, damn it, and so are you. You know, with makeup, without makeup, with natural makeup, with colorful makeup, with neutral makeup, with whatever. You are beautiful the way that you are, and nobody should make you feel bad about what you want to do on your own face. When it comes to just straight up makeup application, you can learn skills to make your makeup look better, but what looks better is so highly subjective. Everybody has a different opinion. I remember watching some of my favorite beauty gurus, and I'm like watching them going, oh my god, this, you know, eye look on them looks incredible, it looks stunning, and then halfway through the video they're like, oh, I hate this, I just think I just look horrible with this. I'm like, what? How can you think that? Are we looking at the same thing? But it's all perspective, and that gets lost in translation sometimes with social media. And I feel like with the whole YouTube, Instagram, just beauty world online, it's become really weird, and I feel like everybody's become a little bit more accustomed to more theatrical looks, and that's really how we judge people's talent, which isn't necessarily true. Some people look like they're good at makeup, but it's because they have a beautiful face and they can put on like false eyelashes, and it's just like, wow, they're amazing. But when you really break it down, it's like they don't necessarily have the same kind of skill as somebody else does, but they get evaluated differently because of their looks. I definitely don't want to insult anybody. I just mean that sometimes some people are just naturally blessed, so they can get away with some clear mascara and lip balm and they look stunning. You know, that's their everyday no makeup look, which may not be the same no makeup look as somebody else, just because of what they feel like they need to look better, because there's all these beauty standards still in place. And I feel like I've really swerved into another topic here just because of the completely unrealistic beauty standards, and a lot of it is encouraged by filtered photos, by videos with filters, by people getting all sorts of enhancements and everything else, and it's just not what you think it is all the time. And it's hard to remember that when you only see a little snippet of something, and it's really easy to judge yourself kind of harshly based on these other images that you see, which aren't necessarily realistic or true to life, and that's okay. I like the people who own the fact that they choose to edit their photos or do alterations or whatever. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't like the people who try and deny it. It's the same thing as people who try and deny the influence that luck has on things like social media, where it's like sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you get noticed by somebody with a huge following. Sometimes you have a video go viral and it's all luck, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yes, you may still have a lot of talent. You may still be very good at what you do, but sometimes it's luck, and sometimes it's your editing skills. Sometimes it's the money you have to buy the best products. Sometimes it's just the way that you were born. So I really believe there are no hard and fast rules when it comes to doing your makeup. I just wish people would stop comparing themselves and comparing others and trying to hold people up to these completely unrealistic standards. It's so disheartening sometimes to feel like you will never measure up to something that doesn't actually exist. So anyway, I know that's a lot to unpack for this little video, but I hope you guys enjoyed this topic. If you'd like to hear my thoughts on any other issues or topics, let me know. I would really like to delve into some more researchy things, but I've had a little bit of a creative roadblock in that regards lately, so I'd love to hear your suggestions. I do have a list of videos and stuff that I'm going to do playing with makeup and having a little bit more fun, but I like these discussion things as well. Make sure to check out Paige's video and check out her channel and all of the other collabs and videos she's been doing recently. She pumps out videos so often, it's amazing. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this topic down below, and I hope we get a chance to chat soon. Bye for now.